Hello there, this is Farm Kenya Show right here on KTN, and today we'll be looking at roasting. Remember last week we looked at processing and grading. We'll be looking at the different types of roasting. We'll also be going to the lab to look at how coffee is tested. My name is Calvin Nyakundi. Join us as we go on this journey. All right, Vivian, thank you so much for joining us. Now, let's look at where we are. First of all, we have some bags here.
Yes.
So before we even get to these bags, what process do the beans go through, especially now that they have been harvested, they have been sorted, all those processes that they go through, now that we have the bags here, what processes do they go through before you even get them to this particular area?
So the first thing that we have to do, we have to request a 300-gram sample of coffee, of the ones that we want. After the 300-gram sample arrives, we have to do grading. So one of the things that we do in grading is we check for color. Mm-hmm. That is, if the green beans are not something greenish to bluish, then we don't like that coffee. Okay. So it has to be greenish to bluish color. Mm-hmm. Another thing that we check for is the moisture content. So we have a moisture meter. You put your green beans into the moisture meter. Then it has to be at a range of 9 to 12%. Okay. The third thing that we check for is for the size. Remember, Kenyan coffee, we grade it by whether it's A, B, C. That is the screen size, the size of the beans. So over here we have some screens. So this is what we use. Okay. The most important ones are this one, because most of our coffees are screen size 18, 17, AA, AB.
So if a bean passes through this size,
yes,
what does that mean?
So remember, we have different screen size, right?
Okay.
So we start from the biggest to the smallest, and they usually proceed up to 13, 10.
Okay, because I have 19 and 20 here.
Yes, so those ones go above these ones.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So remember, for Spring Valley, we use AA and AB and C, a bit of C, right? So these are the most important screen size. So would you mind helping me with the green beans?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, yes.
So just...
Yes. Just all of it.
Okay.
All of it at once.
Okay, all of it at once.
Yes. Then you have to shake it. So after shaking it, now you take 20 and you measure how much it is. Mm-hmm. You proceed measuring, and as you can see, most of them are at 17. 18. Yes. So that is what we want.
So
right?
This one is done at the lab?
Yes, we have a lab over there.
Okay.
So that's where the sample is sent, and that's where we'll do all this grading.
All right. So now, after this process,
yes,
when now we have the ones that have stuck at 20, 18, 19, and 17, what usually happens? So what is the next step now? So
the next step, we remember after doing this, you have to measure, like how many grams are in 20, how many are in 17. And remember, this is a crop. It's not like a tea. We want 100% through. We just want majority of them to be at 17, 18, because we take AA, AB, and C, right? So yes, that's what we do.
All right. So now the AA and the AB that you've said.
Yes.
When it comes to the sizes, what are we looking at in terms of because you've said 17, 18, 19, and 20?
Yes.
So where do the most AAs and ABs fall?
So if you're using AAAB, you want a screen size of 19, 18, 17. That's what you want. Because remember, if the green bean is also too small, it translates to the amount of flavor. Okay. Right? All right. So
the bigger it is, the better.
The better. Yes.
Okay. Do you usually get many 20s, like the 20 sizes?
They're usually not common, especially in Kenyan coffee.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what also happens at the lab before we even get now to the bags that we have here? So what other important process happens at the lab?
We also check for defects. So defects are anything that can alter the taste of your coffee after roasting. So we have the primary defects and the secondary defects. The primary defects are the most serious one, the ones that you have to be a bit, you're not even lenient with them. You have to be a bit strict with them. That includes, of course, foreign matter, because you can imagine if I have stones in my 300-gram sample, how much you will get in a 60 kg bag, right?
Yes.
So you check for foreign matter. We have the full sour, they usually a different color. We have the full black, which is black in color. If you proceed and roast this kind of defect, your coffee will taste something earthy or something medicinal, and that is not what you want in your coffee.
Okay.
And also severe insect damage. Yes, as much as the farmers are allowed to use pesticide, they also have to use them in controlled amounts, right? Yes.
All right, now from the lab, now you are ready now to get the beans.
Yes.
So explain to us that whole process and how it even gets to this place.
So, okay, we have already requested for the 300-gram sample, right?
Yeah.
We have
Yes.
done our due diligence. So now we proceed to buy maybe however much we want, right? And for Spring Valley, we don't do direct trade. We have traders like Ibero. That's who we use. So after we have approved the 300-gram sample, we proceed and buy from Ibero the rest of what we want.
Okay.
So after the bags come here, we still have to repeat the process just for due diligence. Yes, yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So now we have the bags here.
Yes.
And I believe now let's look at what we have here, because we have very many bags.
Yes.
And we have the names that you've also put on each and different particular type of set. So you can explain to us what the names mean, and also how now you get the beans from the bags into the roaster, that is.
Yeah. So something interesting about Spring Valley Coffee, we have like a wide range of consumers, and we would like to provide all of them with however they like their coffee. So like behind you, we have coffee from Central Kenya, right? So coffee from Central Kenya is known to have bright acidity, right, and very aromatic. So for this coffee, we roast it in two different ways. One, if you look at our bags, we have our dark roast, which is called espresso, and gourmet, which is our medium roast. Okay? Over there, we have a coffee called Ingoma. Ingoma is from Bungoma. So it's believed that Ingoma was a place of drums. That's how they used to communicate a while back. So yes, and it's also one of my favorite coffees. Okay, then we also, over here, the one that are labeled X, this is our organic coffee. This is our newest, our latest.
So where is this from?
So this is, we get this from Kericho.
Okay.
So as opposed to these other coffees, this one, there is no use of synthetic fertilizer. Yeah.
So it's purely organic.
Purely organic, and the farms are certified.
Okay.
Like that means for 3 years they have not been using any chemicals on their farm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually catching up. Over here we have Elgon. So the thing that is special about Elgon, it's a naturally processed coffee. So during processing we have the fully washed, but for this one you dry the berries with everything intact.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, Vivian, we have the way you take the seeds from the bags. I would like to see how the organic looks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we can just take a sample of the organic, right?
For the organic one, we cannot interfere with it, unfortunately. As like you can see from the packaging, we have for the organic one, we have this grain pro bag.
Okay.
So we don't want to affect it as opposed to this one.
Okay, so what's the reason for packaging it like that?
Okay, so this coffee, remember, no pesticide, nothing has been used. So it's very prone to be affected by the enemies of coffee, which are air, moisture. So we have to protect it, and we have to be careful with it.
Okay, that's fine. So we wanted to see the organic, but we cannot. But for now, let us look at the sample that we can look at, right?
I can get you any other flavor. So I will show you the fully washed coffee just to compare how it looks with the naturally processed coffee.
All right, that's fine. Let's go ahead. I also have mine here, so.
So we use this one. Then you have to like pierce the bag. Then
I also want to do it.
You also want to do it?
Yeah, I want to do it.
Okay, here you go.
Right. Should I use this one?
Yes, you can use that one.
So you come, this is how you do it,
Yes.
and then you pierce.
And if it was not pierced, you have to use force. Because remember, the bag is very compact.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me get some more. Right.
Yes.
All right. So this is what now you get from the bag, right?
Yes.
So what happens now after this? Are you looking at the sizes? Are you looking at the shape and how it looks and some defects, or what usually happens now after you get this?
So remember, for this coffee, if it's here, we have already looked at the defects. We have already looked at the size, so it's whatever we want, the moisture content. Because when we do our grading system, it also helps us come up with a roasting profile. So if remember, the range for moisture content is 9 to 12, right? So if it's on the maybe on the way to 9, then you have to adjust the flavor profile, right? Yes. So that's what we do.
And even before we move now, the moisture content, how do you usually measure that, and how do you make sure that at least you know the bean is towards 9 to 12 there? What usually happens?
We have an equipment for that in the lab. So you put your green beans there, then just press and it will show you.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus also in the washing station, they usually dry these green beans to that level.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what's the next process now after here?
So after here, that's now we go to the interesting part. Now the roasting part.
Right.
Yes.
And even before we go now to the roasting.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the different types of bags that you have, because you've said you are taking coffee from all over the place, okay,
Yes.
or different regions in order for you to show the taste, to show the how. So when it comes to the storage, what usually happens now that they are here? Are there any weather conditions or climatic conditions that are supposed to be followed when it comes to storage so that it doesn't affect the moisture content?
Yeah, as you can see, we are around 2 meters above from the ground, and away from the wall.
Yes.
Because coffee is also affected by even aflatoxin. And if you can feel the air around here, at least it's not hot, it's not cold, right? Yes. Plus we consume very large quantities. So by Wednesday, you won't find any. We'll be receiving more. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Vivian. And
You're
now
welcome.
I think we are going to be moving to the roasting part, so that we look at the different types of roast: the dark roast, the medium one, and the light one.
The light one.
And the light one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So follow us even as we look at this. Let's look at now this coffee that we've seen and the beans, and as well even the machine. What goes into, especially a bigger machine like this one? Because you know, when you come to roasting, there are very small machines that we usually see at the cafes. Yeah. So first of all, let us even look at the machine, what it's about. Yeah.
So we have two roasting machines. We have the Probat over here, and we have the Ostack. So for the Ostack, it roasts 15 kgs at a time. The Probat does 12 kgs.
So this is 15 kgs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So what type of roast do we have here?
So today we are doing a dark roast.
Dark roast?
Yes.
Okay. Now the process under which the dark roast goes through, you can give us a little bit about that. And I would also like, it's pretty much hot, by the way.
Yeah.
It's hot. So I would like to know, because I can see the beans here, the color that is there is not the one that is coming out on this side. Yes.
So remember, we start with green beans, right? So you have to put the green beans over here. Then the roasting machine is connected to a laptop. The laptop has a roast profile that the roaster has to follow. So today,
there's a whole system.
It's a whole system. We created a roast profile, right? So Godwin is following that profile.
Robin.
Godwin, yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
So even for Godwin, for him to do such type of roast, is there qualifications that he's supposed to go through, and what goes into him being the man who is doing this?
So one, he is SCA certified roaster. You saw the certificate by the entrance, right?
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And he has been doing this for how many years, Godwin? 16 years.
16 years. Wow, wow.
Yes.
Okay,
And we have three other roasters.
okay. So for someone to roast for that long time, what goes into that? Like, and what is that specific thing that they need to have in order for them now to roast?
One, I think they have to be passionate about coffee. So one thing about especially Spring Valley coffee roasters, they were SCA trained, and they are also one of the longest employees in Spring Valley.
Ah,
Yes.
okay, that is nice.
Yes.
So I want to touch the coffee that is here. At least we feel it. You know, if it's the same texture that it was when we took it from there.
For
From the
safety
bag.
purposes, let me get you some gloves.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Okay, here
Right.
you go.
So is there like a specific glove that you need to have, or it's just any glove?
Just have the right kind of gloves.
Ah, okay. So we are going to wear the gloves so that at
Yes.
least we can get to touch the coffee. Yeah. All right, we are all gloved up now. We want to get to touch the coffee that has been roasted so that at least we can see and even feel at what this feels like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so show me, what do we usually do? Do you just scoop it up, or?
You can just, you are gloved, so
Oh.
just fill the coffee.
So are these ones, are they ready, or they need to still go through some?
So one, they are already full. Now we have to lay them in these beds
Okay.
so that they can release the CO2 gas.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. So now, what process do the beans undergo on this particular region, and how long are they going to stay in this area before now they are ready? Now go to the beds.
Okay, so one, the process starts here. You have to put the green beans here. And because the roasting machine and the laptop are connected, Godwin has to wait for the machine to be at a temperature of 280.
280.
228, sorry.
228
Yes.
degrees. Of course, the professional
He knows
that he
more.
is. Yes.
Yes. After the drum reaches 228, he pulls the lever so that the green beans now get into the drum.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
And as you can see, the drum is rotating, right?
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
You can see from here.
Yeah.
So remember the moisture content that we talked about. So the first 4 minutes, the green beans are losing moisture. Yes. Then after that, now you start seeing physical changes in the green beans. So they started as green, you'll see them browning. And at the same time, caramelization is happening. That hence now they become brown in color, right? So as the processing continues and the color change that happens, you'll start hearing popping sound like popcorns.
Ah.
Yes.
So these ones, you can
They
say
already popped.
they already popped.
Yes.
And do we have darker ones than this?
Yes, we have the Italian roast that is black in color.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the spinning that is happening here, what is it helping with? And at the end of it, what shows that the bean is now ready for to be laid there after here?
Okay, so while the roasted beans come from the drum, they're usually very hot. So if you don't pull them rapidly, they will continue roasting.
Ah.
So we have cool air from below,
Okay.
and it has to rotate like this so that the cool air can get into the beans and cool the coffee.
Okay.
Yes.
So how long will this continue for?
So this happens for around 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you have to keep them out here for a long time, or there is a system that usually goes, because you've said 6 minutes, so after 6 minutes they have
now
to be released to this?
into this, then you have now to lay them on this bed. Because this is dark roast, it has acquired a lot of CO2 because of the time in the drum.
Okay.
Remember, dark roast will roast for about 14-15 minutes. Yes, so it has acquired a lot of CO2 gas.
Okay.
So if you eat them like this, you might even get a stomach upset.
So they have to, there's just a process that they have to undergo.
Yes.
All right.
They have
So what is that one thing when it comes to duck roast that someone or a factory needs to be looking at when they're doing duck roast that maybe some people usually can the beans come from this place them not being ready? Yeah. So what undergoes to do that, and what is that all about?
So one, as you can see, at least the color is uniform, so we know we got it. And the roast profile. He has a roast curve that he has to follow. So if it deviates, he either has to increase temperature of the drum or maybe change the speed at which the drum is rotating, or maybe do something about the airflow. Okay? Yes, that's what he has to do to make sure that at least he gets the right pitch for the duck roast. Yes.
Right. So after now it has cooled down, they've been released to this particular container.
Yes.
What goes into the laying? Is there a type of laying that you do, or what goes into that, especially when you are laying now the coffee on the beds?
So one, if it was roasted today, he has to put like a batch number. You see on the tray, it has the date and the batch number.
Okay.
Yeah. And before that, he has to check that he doesn't have any ones that were not roasted. We have a stoner over there. Yeah, that traps stones, making sure that no unroasted coffee goes into the drum.
Okay, that's interesting. I would like to see how this is also laid on the bed. So I think we can just let it.
Wait for it.
We'll wait for it.
For the destoner, any stones, if there was any foreign matter, any green bean that was maybe stuck and didn't get to finish roasting, because as compared to the green beans, the roasted beans are usually very light in density, so they will be stuck upwards. So anything that was heavy will be left down below. Yes.
Okay. So he's doing it right now?
Yes. Yes.
So I was just going to be waiting for that. Then as we move.
Yes.
Yeah. So what will be happening here?
So one, you put the roasted. These are already full. The roasted beans. You put them here. Then you press run. Do you mind pressing it?
Yes. Run. So even as what we are looking at is the coffee beans are now being sucked up.
Upwards.
So what is this now showing us? Like, is it now trying to see, okay, the ones that have been roasted, are they up to the standard, or what is this process?
So the roasted beans, they're usually very low in density because they have already lost moisture. The sugar has already been broken down, so they are very light. So that's why it's easy for them to be stacked upwards. So if there are stones or maybe any green bean, it will be left at the bottom.
Oh wow, maybe the bean that did not get the roasting very well.
Yes, maybe some which was left behind, it will be left down there.
Okay. Yes. So as they are stacked up, what is happening to where they are being stacked to?
So they'll be stacked and then they'll come over here. They'll be held here for a while.
Yes, okay. Yes. Before now they are released into this container.
Them, yes.
After releasing to this particular container, now they are ready now to be laid on the bed.
Laid on the bed. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we are looking at the process of the beans that are going to be packed up, and even as they are getting packed up, the ones that are remaining here could be maybe a green bean that just passed.
Yeah.
But I've seen almost all of them are moving.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this particular process, is it your team as an organization or a factory, or what process is this? Does everyone do this?
So one for Spring Valley, as much as your specialty, we always want to give the best. So we purchased this one just to make sure that we have the best coffee outside there. Yes.
All right. So after sucking now, is there something that we need to press for it to fall here?
No, we just need to release this lever, but we need to remove this one first.
All right, so the coffee that has been sucked up is being released into the container ready for bedding. So we'll look at that also, even the process that undergoes and what usually goes there. So the container that is used here,
Yes.
how do you clean it? And is it used from time to time? And also, do you use this and then you just bring another container? So do they, what, is there a special way they are cleaned, or it's just like that?
We use water. Plus, we do color coding. So if this is dark roast, right? So our dark roast, we refer it as espresso. So espresso,
Oh, so this is almost full?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
So
okay.
the espresso is, the bag is blue in color. So you use the blue bucket. Gourmet is green, so you use green buckets. Yes.
Okay, that's nice. That's okay. So from here now we're going to move to the bed.
To the bed,
Okay.
yes. As you lay the roasted beans into the bed, you also have to put labels, like when it was roasted and the batch number.
Okay. So we need to help him spread, right?
And you will do. Plus, you also put other roasted coffee on top. Yeah, because they were roasted on the same day. Yes.
I feel like we need to help him. We need to help him spread. I mean, he's supposed to do it.
Yes.
Okay. So he's supposed to do it. We're not supposed to be touching it.
Yes.
After that. So after now, it's laid here.
Yeah.
And the other that have been roasted also behind us are going to be laid on top, right? So what goes into that now as it is being laid here? You can tell us how the safety precautions, especially when it comes to making it as safe as it's supposed to be, and also making sure that it is good for packaging.
So one, the reason why we lay it is to remove the excess CO2. Remember that CO2 we also need during packaging. So one of the safety precautions, one, do not touch. And at the moment they switch off the roasting machine, it will be a bit full. And this area, we don't have a lot of food traffic.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Vivian, we are now going to be taking a short break, even as we lay the beans that have been roasted.
Yes.
And then when we come back, we're also going to be looking at other processes. So just stick around, don't go too far. We'll be back with more.
Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Kenya.
Buy Smarter Bundle today. Dial *544# or use My Airtel app. Na bado tuna grow. Asanteni wa Kenya.
We value your feedback and welcome your comments, queries, and complaints regarding our content. You can get in touch with us via SMS on 22151, call 0719 012 111 or 0732 142 000 or email feedback@standardmedia.co.ke. Our PO Box number is 30080-00100 Nairobi, or deliver to our offices at Standard Group Center, Mombasa Road, Nairobi.
After the government banned the plastic, hakukuwa na solution, but they needed the package. So immediately nimetengeneza mfuko. People are willing to buy, very willing. Betri watu wa duka, watu wa pharmacy, watu wa restaurant, watu wa chipo mwito, all of them, that is for the packaging bag. As long as somebody has an interest, we nurture that person. After we have finished the training, they can now start production. We learn, we gain, we earn, we believe for empowerment, nurturing, and showing you the way.
Our mark isn't just in the buildings we build, it's in the lives we impact, the communities we strengthen, and together we'll leave our mark on this world. MRM, shaping every Kenyan dream since 1962.
We've informed you on matters of life and wellness, from pandemics to mental health, because your life matters. KTN at 35, trusted, fearless, trailblazing.
Bells will always have news of tradition and things we need to follow. The trading bell, however, will always have news of precision, where industry makers and market movers have their stories to tell.
We want to exit some of the companies
Okay.
to the capital market so that we can deepen the market.
The thing about leadership is you're doing everything, but I think what's not seen is it's a very strong support team that on a day-to-day basis enables you to do well.
The performance of the shilling has a direct bearing on inflation because we import quite significantly the amount of goods that we consume in this country.
So tune in every Tuesday night for your dose of the trading bell, where industry movers and market shakers have their stories to tell that happened right here at the Bauhaus.
Kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
All right, welcome back. This is Farm Kenya Show, and today we are looking at the roasting process. And right here where we are is the lab. We'll be looking at the bean that was roasted and the processes that it undergoes. With me is Dennis and Sam. They are going to be showing us what we are doing today. Dennis will be giving us a little bit about what we have here, and also we'll be looking at the whole process of cupping. All right, let's get right into it. Dennis. So, yes, give us a little bit about what we have here and what is we have on the table.
So on the table we have products ranging from a dark roast, we have a medium roast, we have one decaf, we have one natural. So for us, what we usually check is the quality of every batch that is roasted. As you can see from the table here, we have different batches.
Okay.
So after the roasting is done, the roasters has to bring every sample of every batch that is roasted. We have to test, and for cupping, it's a bit subjective. So for every testing session, we have to be at least 3 or 4 people, ranging from our CEO, head of quality, head of roastery, Kinyanju is a trainer, Vivian is also a trainer, then me. Then after we check every batch, we have to analyze. And for cupping, we have different attributes. So for one, we have fragrance. For fragrance, it's when it's dry. So every time before we test, we have to smell it before we infuse the water. That is what we call fragrance when it's dry.
Okay.
Then after smelling the fragrance, we are satisfied it doesn't have any taints like soap, petroleum, oil, anything that is not coffee. We infuse the water. Then after infusing the water, we let it sit for 4 minutes. Then after 4 minutes, we break the crust. And that when we are breaking the crust, what we look at is the aroma. So for aroma is the smell after infusing the water. Then after now infusing the water, we let it sit for another 10 to 11 minutes. Then we now remove the crust, then we test. We start our first cupping. And for cupping, we usually do it twice. When it's hot and when it's cold.
Okay.
When it's hot, we try to analyze some attributes like the acidity, balance, aftertaste. When it's cold, we now analyze the things like how heavy is it, like the body, the balance, how clean the cup is, the sweetness. Then after we score, and for us, we don't just score blindly. For us, after setting up every sample, there's an app we use, it's called Cropster. So for Cropster, every evaluator has to have that software in the phone. So you put the scores in terms of fragrance, how will you score it? And for us as a specialty organization, our score ranges from 80 to 100. So for fragrance, will you score it 6 being the lowest or 10 being the highest? But for us, it's surely maybe around 8 to 9. Then flavor and all other attributes. Then after now, scoring all the attributes, what score will you give the overall score, which is 80 to 100? Okay, that is basically what we do.
All right, thank you for breaking that down. Now, before we even move, there's a timer here.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a timer. You can just tell us what this is about and what it helps. Because you've said 4 minutes. There's 4 minutes and also there's 8 minutes. Yes.
So for us, what we usually do, before we start any cupping session, we have to set it up. So after grinding, for us, we don't let the ground sit for that long. So after infusing the water, we let it sit for 4 minutes. So for this timer, after infusing the water, we time like a stopwatch. Then after 4 minutes, we break the crust.
Okay.
Then after the 4 minutes again, we let it sit for another 11 minutes. But initially, the cupping should be done at least 15 minutes after you infuse the water.
Okay.
That is the purpose of the time.
I think we'll get to see it how it works.
Yes.
So I think we can put the water, you can infuse the water, and then we see how what happens after that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And for the water, we use the temperature we use for water, it's 96 to 98.
Okay.
And for this region, the altitude is a bit low, so the temperature is from 94 to 96.
Okay.
For brewing.
So let me ask, so why the temperature of that amount? Because I mean, hot water is hot water.
Yes.
So why that temperature?
For the temperature, when it's a bit high, there'll be over extraction from the coffee. The coffee will tend to be bitter, a bit bitter, and it will be over extracted. But also, when the temperature is a bit low, like maybe 79, 80, it will be under-extracted, which will be a bit sour, and you won't have the full potential of that cup.
Okay. All right. So let's get the water. You said 90,
yes.
96, 94?
Yes. Okay. That is the maximum of this altitude. That is 1725.
Okay. All right. So we can get the water, and then now we see how this is done. So what we have here, we have dark, this type of dark.
This is decaf. This is a decaf bean. The reason it looks a bit dark, because the bean, when the process that the decaf undergoes, it's soaked in water, so the beans tend to lose the color, most of it color. So the green beans are a bit molted and dark.
Okay.
Green.
Okay.
So, but for roasting, it takes the same time as the medium roast. But visually looking at it, it looks like a dark roast.
Okay.
But at the table, we have only one dark roast.
Okay, the dark roast. Because earlier on, before we went for break, we were with Vivian on the dark roast. And now when it comes to this medium roast, the time that it takes, of course, it's a little bit, not as much as the dark roast, right? So this medium roast, what value, especially when it comes to the time that it stays in the roaster, how much time does it take?
So about 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
It depends on the size of the bean, the density, but it's usually around 10 to 12.
Okay. Yes. I can see some has the water.
Yes.
Okay, so
we can start pouring.
Okay. So you've set the timer, and then now. Okay, so that is on the dark roast side.
Yes.
Okay. And then some is on the decaf. Right. So the timer has been set, and we're going to see how, after 4 minutes, we're going to just get to see what happens. And now, when it comes to the tasting that is done,
yes.
So after you've tasted, and now you've seen the values, the aroma,
yes.
the taste, the aftertaste, how do you grade? How do you make sure that the coffee that you have now is good for now to go for maybe packaging or even grinding? You can just tell us a little bit about that, so that
after we're done with the cupping, we have a small session with the evaluators. Then we now analyze. We look at the scores, how everyone found the coffee.
Yeah.
Then we analyze. Why did you find this one maybe happy? Why did you find it maybe a bit citrusy? Then after now, if we find maybe there's a cup that has maybe a defect or a taint, we don't let it go to the packaging.
Okay.
So for us, maybe use it for training purposes, or maybe it's ground for coffee for your garden, manure, which is sold given to our customers free.
Okay, I can smell the aroma from the different sides. We have the decaf. The decaf is a bit not very strong.
Yes.
Not as strong as the Elgon side. And I can also smell the
kikaboni. So kikaboni, it's a Kiswahili term for organic.
Yes. Okay. So the organic ones are a little stronger, right?
Yes, especially the medium roast. Okay. Then on this side, it's a bit bold, chocolatey, cocoa-like, yes, and a bit hint of roasty finish, yes.
All right, and I can see the way you've arranged them, and then we have just some seconds remaining for us to clock the 4 minutes. Yes, so you will see what happens, especially now it's 4 minutes. Yeah, so we have reached the 4 minutes.
So for us, how we break the crust, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
You first rinse your spoon, then you just stir it 3 times, like that. Then you also rinse your spoon, then you move to the next.
Okay. Okay, the next one. Even as Dennis is doing this, Sam is on this side, on the decaf side, doing the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so what do you get from this?
So for this one, because it's a medium roast, it's a bit fruity, citrus, it's a bit lively as compared to this one, and a bit vibrant.
So this one was dark chocolatey.
Bold, yes.
Yeah, and this one is a bit citrusy.
Heavier notes as compared to this one.
Okay, okay. So, okay. So Dennis, what happens next now?
So for us, is the question you asked initially.
Yes, which one is?
So for as Spring Valley, we try to offer every product for every customer. Be it the method of processing, be it roasting, be it the region where it's grown. Like for example, for someone can like espresso because it's really good with milk.
Yes.
And also is an espresso shot. But for someone, maybe someone can like gourmet because it's good for a filter coffee. But because of the high acidity, someone will not maybe like it. Another person will not like it. And for Elgon, it's a bit fruity, sweet, and some more funky, but it's good. It's fairly good. But for somebody who is taking coffee for the first time, they don't really relate that taste to coffee. So, and for us, we usually get complaints from customers who are buying it for the first time because they don't. Most people relate coffee to espresso and maybe a medium roast. And for decaf, it has a specific customer,
a niche for itself.
Especially for the people who have maybe issues with the heart, especially for the elderly, they really like that one because it doesn't have a bit of caffeine.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we've all felt the aromas, smelt the aromas. Now, what is the next thing that happens?
So what we have to do next is remove the crust.
Okay.
And the reason we remove the crust, you can't take it with the crust because the crust consists of gases, oils, and so we have to remove the crust before testing.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see that even as we move on. So we are going to remove the crust, and then now we get the actual taste.
Okay.
All right. Wow, it looks easy. It looks very easy. I thought there was a different process that goes there. All right. So even as you continue, when it comes to the different types of roasts that happens, do we have a bin that maybe that a roast that will happen. It's over. It's done, and then the desired taste that comes out. If it's the dark roast,
yes,
it's more bitter than it was expected to be.
Yes, it happens. And before we do any roasting, for us, what we do is we have a sample roaster. We have 2 sample roasters. We have Ikawa and we have a link roaster. So every time we receive a sample, either bit an offer sample, an arrival sample, we have to roast a small batch, 50 grams or 100 grams. Then after roasting, we have to test about 4 to 5 evaluators.
Okay.
Then now we look at the best way to roast it, considering now the moisture content, the water activity, the density, how big is the bean, is it big, is it small? So because you can't roast the bigger bean with a smaller bean using the same cup.
Okay.
So after now we test and we look at how the roast affects the cup. We now determine a profile that best suits that bean before releasing to the commercial roast.
Okay.
That is how it is.
All right. And now, since this is the place where the bean comes after roasting,
yes,
have you received a bean that you would say, okay, the roast did not reach the standards? Because you are the one who approves. You're the one who says, okay, so this is the point that happens. Yes. So has that happened before? And if it has happened before, what goes into that? Do you roast other different beans, or the bean is taken back? What happens?
So what we do in roasting, after removing the bean from the ground, you can't take it back.
Okay.
So how we do it, after we don't only roast it once using the sample roaster. We roast it maybe twice, we let it sit maybe for 3 days, we cap it in the first day, the second day, the third day, and we try to look at how the bean behaves. But one problem we usually have is maybe when there's a power outage from Kenya Power. That is one of the main issues we have. But we have a backup generator, but it usually takes time. And for roasting, even 5 seconds can really change everything. So we are a bit keen, but we rarely get that.
Okay, so now you've removed the crust. Okay, you've not removed every other. So what determines the crust on top? And why do we have the crust on top, especially now that we have, of course, the dissolved one, and then we have the crust on top? Is it that the much the crust, the more strong, or the more strong the coffee will be? Because I've seen that there's different sizes of the crust. There's others with very large crust and others very little.
Yes. Crust is determined by, it's also something that can also help us in determining the quality of a bean. Now, when you compare the two, like maybe espresso and gourmet, this one has a more denser crust as compared to this one.
Okay.
It's more rich, it's more heavier as compared to this one. So the reason being, the more you roast a bean, the more you're able to develop some components, some flavors, some aromas, and also lipids. The more we roast a bean, that is why when you look at the darker roast, it's a bit shiny. This is because of the lipids.
Oh yes, the darker roast is always shiny.
The more
yes,
the lipids come to the surface because you're breaking down the cell membrane. But for this one, it's a bit rougher. And also for crust, you can also tell the quality of a bean by looking at the crust. When the crust breaks even before the 4 minutes, it can tell you that bean is not fully developed. It's either a lighter roast or the roasting was a bit shorter time.
Okay. All right, so now let's go to testing. Tell me what usually happens and how you taste it.
So for testing, you also have to put a cup for rinsing the spoon. So because for every sample, you have to have 3 cups. And before you move to the next, from this cup to the next, you have to rinse your spoon. Yes. So any time we get maybe there was an issue maybe with the roasting, it's either we retain the bean for trailing, for purposes of maybe when we want to demonstrate it maybe to our students, this is how a Scotch bean looks and a developed bean, or it's ground. So when you go to at the cafe, I doubt if you saw it, there's a small coffee for your garden package. So we give it to our customers. It's ground coffee, that is, you put it in your garden and it acts as a compost.
Okay, right. Very well explained. So we can see now the taste and how you taste it.
So for now, testing. So how we do it, you first rinse your spoon, then you have to slap. The reason we slap, you have to make sure the liquid aerates inside your mouth. And for testing, we don't use the tongue. We use the olfactory senses. So that is why you have to slap it. You have to cool it, yes. So how we do it like this.
So it hits the upper palate.
Yes. Then now it's picked the aromas and the flavors. That is this how we do it.
Okay, so after you've done that, I would like also to do one.
Yes, you should.
Don't think I can taste coffee. I can taste coffee. I can taste coffee. So after you've done that, so what is the review? Do you say, okay, I'll also give my review. So you can give us your review after you've done that.
So for every cupping, you don't just cup and start scoring. You first have to go through all the samples to calibrate your mouth. Because there's an analogy that every time somebody starts tasting coffee, always the first cup is always bitter because of the taste buds and your body. It's a bit bitter. So you have to calibrate first. You have to go through it. Then now you start scoring.
And will the first taste affect this one? Because now you are testing. You've tested the next one. You've tested the next one. So will it affect the last cup?
Not really, because after every, you have to give yourself a break.
Okay.
It's not something you do it in a span of maybe 2
continuously.
Minutes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So it's something you do it maybe for even an hour or even 30 minutes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you can also show me so that at least I see. Let me try.
Yes.
So do I try the same or a different one?
So you should just slap, then you move to the next.
Okay. So
and
like this one.
Maybe if you feel maybe you can't. If you feel maybe you can't swallow, you can use the spittoon.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But if you're okay to swallow, it's fine.
All right. So I'm going to be testing the coffee. I'm also now going to be, a professional in this. All right. So let's go.
So you just scoop.
Yeah.
And remember, the louder the slap, it's a badge of honor. Yes.
I'm doing it again.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't laugh. This one, it takes skill. Yeah, it's a bit louder than the than the first one. Yeah, I can say it has the lemony and citrusy taste.
And also another thing maybe I need to highlight. The reason for cupping it's a bit different. Our golden ratio is 1:18.
Okay.
For every 1 gram of coffee, we put 18 grams of water.
Okay.
But for the normal brews, like Chemex, Calita V60, it's a bit tight.
Okay.
It's 1:10 to 1:15. So it's a bit concentrated as compared to this one. So for somebody maybe who does cupping for the first time, they'll say it's a bit light. But there is a reason for that, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dennis, for this. I think now we will be moving to the other side to look at what happens after the decision has been made here, even as I continue to taste these ones. So let's go. Now we are at the last point, and that is packaging. And Dennis is here. Tell us what is happening here. We have, of course, some are being put on crates and others on boxes.
Yes. So what we have here, as you can see from example for this, we have different products. We have medium roast, the ones we kept there.
Yeah.
So as you can see, this one is for our customers, for the supermarkets, especially you can tell from the label.
Yes.
And from our labels, you can easily tell it contains where the coffee was grown, the varieties, it was roasted by who, if it is beans, so that for every time we release any bean or any ground coffee, it should be highlighted for the customer.
Okay.
For every customer who buys, at least they should know if it is beans, ground, medium ground, fine ground. Yes.
All right.
That is what.
And why is this like this? Because now we have the white one and we have the black one.
So for this one, it's especially for our hospitality customers. For the big hotels like Radisson Blue, Sankara, Marisot. So for this one, it's specifically for hospitality customers. This one is for the supermarkets.
All right.
Yes.
And now for the last point.
Yes.
Which ones are going for exports and which one are remaining for locals?
So for the moment, at the moment, we only have for local retail shops and for our customers. Then we don't have a specific category which disputes which one is for export or which one is for the retail. But at the moment, I can see all the beans we have here for the retail market.
Okay. For the
retail local market. Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. And right there you have it. We've come to the end of this particular edition of Farm Kenya. Today we were looking at coffee roasting. We've looked at the different types of the dark roast, and also we got to taste some of the different types of roast. My name is Calvin Nyakundi. Let's meet next time, same place, right here on Farm Kenya.